So how are preparations going?
Well, we've been working on this for, I'd say, about 4 months, so we're ready to go. We're kind of, I think we haven't forgotten anything. We'll figure that out tomorrow, but we're ready to rock and roll. We've got the wristbands, we've got tents rented for winter, heaters. It's just so much to put this on anymore. It's pretty exciting. So we're ready to start greeting guests starting tomorrow morning. We'll open both of our pubs about 10:30. We like to get open a little bit earlier to let our guests come in and start enjoying some Pliny the Younger.
I am not going to be able to sleep tonight. I'm so excited about playing Eve here, Natalie. You know, I could literally read you all the reviews on Beer Advocate, but I just want to read this one. Very hoppy, but it isn't all up in your face about it. It's like smooth sailing hoppy adventure on your palate. What is your thoughts of this year's brew?
Well, this year's brew is kind of similar to the last few years. We don't really mess around with the malt recipe too much. We pretty much dialed that in. We're always targeting about a 10.25% ABV. But we do like to mess around with the hops a bit. So this year we've added a new New Zealand hop called Nectaron. And as you can imagine, it has quite a bit of nectarine and citrus character, which really shines through. I get kind of like orange slice candy when I taste the beer. It has several other hops that we've been using for years, such as Simcoe, Warrior. We've got some Mosaic and some Citra in there, as well as a hop called Elixir, which has a little bit of a berry note. So I think it's a really well-rounded beer. It's surprisingly balanced for as high in alcohol as it is. We kind of have a joke that Vinny wins the game again in how to hide the alcohol. So it is deceptively smooth. That's why we limit it to 3 10-ounce pours per guest, just for to make sure everybody has a great time, doesn't drink too much, and gets home safely.
So this delicious beer, Pliny the Younger, how much of it do you make and how long will it last?
Well, this is the second time this year we've made it. So last year we had to postpone the release due to COVID. Not necessarily due to COVID restrictions, but because we had an outbreak and the majority of our employees were out sick. So it's kind of hard to pull something like this off without people. So we postponed the in-person release, and it ended up being a blessing in disguise. So we're going to permanently move our in-person release to March, April timeline, and then do distribution in February. So I have to be honest with you, I don't know exactly how much we made this year. In years past, we've made about 180 barrels of it, which 1 barrel equals 31 gallons. And the very first year we made it, which was 2005, was 20 barrels downtown. This is a very low yielding beer because it has so many ingredients in it. There's tons of malt. We quadruple dry hop it now, and so really the yields are on a 20 barrel batch would be about 14 to 15 barrels. So it's really not a cost effective beer to make. It's very hard and time consuming beer to make, which is why we don't make more of it. But we like to keep it special too. We'll have it on tap for a few weeks starting tomorrow. We'll also have bottles available for guests who come to Wasteline. It won't be available in our guest shops. You got to come into the pub to get this bottle. You will have to wait in the same line. But at least we have bottles now for people to take home and share with their family and friends.
I know it's by accident, but I thought it was really super cool that you sent the beer out to all the local bars and restaurants so everybody might go there to support them, and then they get to come to the brewery too. I just thought that was really cool.
Yeah, that was by design. Winter is really hard for bars and restaurants. January, February, right after the holidays. January is a horrible month for anybody in the bar and restaurant business. There's also a San Francisco Beer Week in February, which part of the reason that Beer Week is when it is because we've always released Pliny the Younger the first week of February. But we decided to go with distribution in February so that we can help our accounts with a little economic stimulus during the kind of dark winter months. And it was really fun for me and Vinny because we were able to get out and go to a bunch of Russian River events in our town, younger tapping, and some beer week events. We even traveled to Southern California and went to like 5 or 6 younger tappings down there. So it was really fun for us. We haven't been able to leave the brewery since 2010, during younger times, and so it's good to separate the two so that we can get out and about as well.
Natalie, would you say that it's safe to say that your Windsor location is the house that Pliny built?
Well, yes, I'll give Vinny credit, but it is the house that we built. It definitely has, it has elements. We've been in the business since 1994. So Windsor is definitely our dream brewery. It has all the bells and whistles that we could ever want in one location. It's our legacy brewery. People would ask us why are you doing this? Why are you taking on so much debt? We really wanted to build a place that would make better beer, make a little bit more beer, career opportunities for our employees, and something we can be really proud of. So that's it is our dream brewery.
Well, we're so excited that you are welcoming Larry tomorrow to the Santa Rosa location. As he said, he's not going to sleep all night. This is like his Super Bowl. He's so excited about this. Thank you, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you so much. You guys have a great day. And Larry, we'll see you in the morning.
Yes.
That is Natalie Chilurzo. She is co-owner of Russian River Brewing Company. Pliny the Younger, that big release is tomorrow. So exciting. KSRO News Time now is 8:26. And with that, it means that it's time for us to head on over to the roadways, of course, now, and see what's happening. Here is Paul Maxwell.
Thanks, Michelle. Heads up in Nevada, West 37 approaching Advocate. A couple of boxes scattered mostly in the right lane, but could be in the left lane. Just a minor backup. West 37 slow out of Vallejo over the Merritt Island Bridge. That'll continue towards 121. Santa Rosa, minor backup at the 101 Highway 12 interchange. South 101 stretches of heavy on the Cotati grade from before Railroad down to Petaluma Boulevard North, and a lot of slow South 101 in Marin from before Roland down to just past North San Pedro. Highway 116, the Gravenstein Highway, and the Lakeville Highway, those are doing fine. Your next update at 8:35. Now with Sonoma County's most accurate, most dependable forecast, here's Michelle.
Thank you so much, Paul. And looking at your forecast, we've got a mix of showers and sunshine today. And highs will be in the upper 50s, most areas. Overnight lows in the mid-30s. We will have some partly cloudy skies tomorrow, and mostly sunny and slightly warmer on Saturday and Sunday. Well, we aren't done with the rain, though. Showers will come back into the forecast beginning on Monday. KSRO News Time is 8:27.
Cyber thieves could steal the equity in your home without you even knowing. Now, it's a financially devastating scam. It's called home title theft. Now, cyber thieves hunt for the title of your home online, then they'll forge your signature on a transfer document stating that you sold them your home when you didn't. Then they'll take out loans on your home with your equity, or they'll sell it to an unsuspecting buyer. By the way, they're gone. Your money's gone also. Your home is not in your name anymore, and now you're hiring attorneys to try and save your home. I protect my home, my equity, with Home Title Lock. You should too. Home Title Lock, they put a virtual shield around your home's title. Now that's the instant they detect activity or tampering around your home's title. They help shut it down and shut it down fast. First things first, get a free title scan with sign-up to verify your home is safely in your name. And mention my name, Sean, and you get 30 days of protection at HomeTitleLock.com. That's HomeTitleLock.com.
Are you the parent of a 2 to 7-year-old? Listen closely for an exciting free radio offer. By now, you've probably heard of ABC Mouse, the Parents' Choice Award-winning online learning program that's actually changing the lives of early learners everywhere.
ABC Mouse is like a little one-on-one teacher. It has helped her so much.
Right now, we're offering a special radio promo to try it free for a month. But you have to go to abcmouse.com/radio to claim your free month. That's abcmouse.com/radio.
Sponsored by Age of Learning.
Since 1987, Superior Seamless Gutters has provided the highest quality, seamless rain gutter systems in the industry. Only the best at an affordable price. Gutters, downspouts, leak protection. Superior Seamless does it all. Superior materials, superior customer service, and professional, highly qualified installers make Superior Seamless Gutters the obvious choice. Free, honest estimates, and a superior lifetime warranty. See what your neighbors are saying about Superior Seamless Gutters on Nextdoor and Yelp. Online at superiorseamless.com.
The White House reportedly will break up its COVID-19 response team after the public health emergency ends in May. Michael Kastner reports.
The Washington Post on Wednesday cited current and former officials who said some staffers had already left. The national coordinator, Dr. Ashish Shah, is expected to leave the Biden administration once his team is disbanded. COVID-19 response team was created in 2020, in the early days of the pandemic, and expanded to about 3 dozen staffers under President Biden. It's ending as the pandemic recedes from U.S. hospitals and voters' minds. I'm Michael Kastner.
Senator Ted Cruz is pressing a constitutional amendment that would permanently cap the United States Supreme Court at 9 justices. It would need ratification by all states. This is KSRO.
Sonoma County's News Talk, KSRO, on FM at 103.5 in Santa Rosa and Windsor, and now at 96.9 in Petaluma.
Stock influencers are on Capitol Hill today to try to influence lawmakers not to ban the Chinese social media app, as this Chinese CEO testifies before lawmakers concerned about data security. Committee Chair Kathy McMorris-Rogers of Washington says that Americans who aren't even on the platform could also be at risk.
Even if they've never been on TikTok, your trackers are embedded in sites across the West. TikTok surveils us all. And the Chinese Communist Party is able to use this as a tool to manipulate America as a whole.
TikTok CEO claiming the company has built a firewall to try to protect Americans' data and make the app safe and secure for minors. At the White House, President Biden to mark the 13th anniversary of the Affordable Care Act, then off to Canada and a meeting with Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. The CDC is warning about a rise in cases of invasive strep A in parts of the country. The infection's more serious than common strep and can be deadly. Dave Packer, ABC News.
From ABC News, Tech Trends, TikTok CEO Shou Zi Chew is set to answer questions from lawmakers on Capitol Hill tomorrow as the Biden administration considers a ban on that app.
It'll be a very, very hot seat for the CEO of TikTok.
Taylor Barkley is the Director for Technology and Innovation at the Center for Growth and Opportunity. He says the concerns around TikTok fall into 2 categories.
What is the algorithm doing? What is it serving Americans? Child safety issues of, illegal drugs or mental health concerns. And then, of course, what access does ByteDance on the privacy cybersecurity side, what access does ByteDance have to the data that TikTok is collecting on Americans?
And he says there is bipartisan support for regulation around the app.
There's disagreement on the details between Republicans and Democrats and what a good privacy law could look like, but there's agreement that something should be done.
Around 150 million Americans use TikTok every month. With Tech Trends, I'm Mike Dubusky, ABC News.
For what it's worth, I'm Brian Clark. Every 6 minutes, someone in America dies after suffering a blood clot. Tom Buffalano knew something was wrong as he trained for a marathon in 2017.
I was stopping every couple of 100 yards to catch my breath.
After being diagnosed with a pulmonary embolism, it happened again 3 years later.
I knew immediately what it was, and I went to the hospital. It was worse the second time around.
ABC News medical contributor Dr. Darian Sutton.
Blood clots can happen anywhere in the body, and what's more concerning is that blood clot can then travel or embolize to other parts of the body, which can lead to fatal injury.
And with March being National Blood Clot Awareness Month,
it's important to remember the signs and symptoms: pain, warmth, swelling, especially if it's one leg and not the other.
Some risk factors can include sitting for a long time during travel, recent surgery, certain types of medication that include estrogen, recent COVID infections, and genetics. For what it's worth, Brian Clark, ABC News.
Live and local from our studios in Santa Rosa, this is Sonoma County's Morning News on Marconi Award-winning KSRO.
Good morning. It is 8:33. Today is Thursday, March 23rd. I'm Michelle Marquis.
Happy Thursday to you. I'm Larry Olson. Dan Tusios' op. Web editor is Jeff Woodworth.
Oh my gosh, that was so much fun to talk to Natalie. She's so great.
Oh. They're great.
They are great. Vinny and Natalie are so awesome. And one thing that we didn't even get to, but is a wonderful thing, and maybe you can chat with Natalie about it tomorrow. I think she's going to be there at the brewery, is how much of an economic impact Pliny the Younger has on Santa Rosa. Because so many people, and Sonoma County, of course, now with the Windsor location, like so many people travel from out of the area to come here just for that beer.
I was just about to say, such a source of pride for the community that everybody comes for this.
I know. It's pretty dang cool. All right. Let's look at our top stories. Sonoma County employees are getting a living wage increase this summer.
A woman who shot a 16-year-old girl at a Roder Park sandwich shop in November is pleading not guilty.
And Roder Park law enforcement says counterfeit bills have been showing up at local businesses.
Coming up in sports, the game lives up to the hype as the Dubs get a big win over the Mavs in Big D.
It is 8:35 now at KSRO with the latest on your commutes. Here is Paul Maxwell.
Thanks, Michelle. CHP on the way to Nevada, West 37 approaching Atherton. They are dealing with a couple of boxes that are scattered in the roadway. Just a minor backup as a result. West 37, though, heavy out of Vallejo over the Mare Island Bridge, continuing in big stretches to 121. Santa Rosa, minor delays at the 101 Highway 12 interchange, as well as both directions of Highway 12 approaching Farmers Lane. But big slowdown South 101 in Marin from just before 37 down to just past North San Pedro. Northbound 29 stretches of slow from Kelly up to 221 and heavy Highway 12 between Boys Hot Springs and Sonoma Plaza. Your next update, 8:45. Now with Sonoma County's most accurate, most dependable forecast, here's Michelle.
Thanks, Paul. We have a bit of sun and some occasional showers today as Sonoma County tries to dry out after a recent storm. Temperatures will reach the upper 50s today and will cool off to about the mid-30s in the overnight hours. There is a slightly higher chance of rain in the overnight hours. Friday, partly cloudy, but then we've got a great sunny weekend on Saturday and Sunday. A perfect time to head out and about, enjoy nature. Rain, though, comes back on Monday, and it's going to last for the first couple of days of next week. Traffic on the 5s, weather 6 times an hour. Mornings on KSRO. KSRO news time is 8:36. The 19-year-old woman charged in connection with the shooting at a sandwich shop in Roder Park has pleaded not guilty. On Wednesday, she pleaded not guilty to 1 count of felony possession of an unregistered and loaded gun. The woman, a now former employee, is accused of shooting a 16-year-old girl inside the sandwich shop while she was working last November. The suspect's attorney says his client was being assaulted by the girl and 3 other people when she opened fire. 2 of the people accused of assaulting her, including the teen who was shot, were cited for battery. Sonoma County District Attorney Carla Rodriguez says the woman has a valid self-defense claim.
Sonoma County employees and contractors are getting an hourly living wage increase this summer. Board of Supervisors approved the wage hike Tuesday. Starting July 1st, county employees and contractors will be making $17.65 an hour. That's a boost of more than 2.2%. Second wage increase approved by the board in the past 3 months, meant to protect low-wage workers from the effects of inflation.
The American Red Cross is working around the clock to respond to climate weather crises across the U.S. Nika Magahis reports.
Vice President of Disaster Programs Jennifer Pippa says more than 400 volunteers are on the ground in California, helping those impacted by the recent storm.
Providing a safe and comfortable place for people to stay, providing hot meals, emotional support, replacing lost medications, and beginning to start to have the conversations with families whose homes were destroyed because of some of this flooding about what their next steps are.
Meteorologists are predicting dangerous flooding in California when the state's historic snowpack starts to melt in spring. Across the nation, there are increased tornado and flood risks. In the plains and Midwest, this winter's heavy snow could bring potential flooding. And forecasters say warmer temperatures in May could trigger severe storms and tornadoes across the South and Midwest. Nika Magahis, NBC News Radio.
The Roder Park Department of Public Safety is asking those who have been victims of counterfeit money to come forward. Over the last week, the department has received several reports that arrests have been made for subjects passing counterfeit $20 and $10 bills in and around Roder Park. Officers believe there are other outstanding victims in the area. If you've received any counterfeit currency, please contact the Roder Park Department of Public Safety. They posted a video on their Facebook page ways you can identify fake currency.
There's been a flood of concealed carry permit requests in California since the U.S. Supreme Court struck down a New York law last year. That's led to states being required to hand them out to anyone who meets basic legal requirements. Last year's court decision marked the most significant undercutting of California's strictest in the nation's set of gun laws in decades. As gun owners await the opportunity to exercise their rights, Democrats in the state capitol are racing to put guardrails around them. Legislation is in the works to add restrictions like requiring more training and limit where Californians can carry their concealed weapons with a lengthy list of gun-free zones.